Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a super simple dinner recipe, even for a weeknight, and it's these Swedish cabbage rolls. I'll show you how to make these, and then I'll show you how to make the parsley sauce and potatoes that I serve it alongside. If you want to learn how you can make this, keep on watching.
Start by cooking a 1/4 cup of white rice in 1/2 cup of water. Once this comes to a boil, lower the heat all the way down to low and put the lid on. Leave it for about 10 minutes until all the water has been absorbed, and then you'll just set this aside. In the meantime, bring a large pot of water to a boil and add your cabbage leaves. You'll need about 12 to 16 leaves for this recipe, and it's easiest to boil them in 2 batches, so here I'm putting about half in. They only need about 5 minutes of boiling so that they're pliable and easy to roll up. They'll cook way more in the oven. Then transfer these to a paper towel lined baking sheet or a tray to drain while you boil the second batch. So I'm putting the second batch in and waiting for those to finish. My rice is done, so I'll just set that aside and then pull out the second batch of cabbage leaves after they've cooked for about 5 minutes. These will just drain until they cool down and are easy to handle when I have to roll them up. For the meat mixture, start by chopping up 1 medium onion. You want this in pretty fine chunks. You don't want chunks of raw onion in the meat. Then I chop up the parsley. You need about 2 tablespoons worth, but you can just eyeball this. That's what I do. Add about 1 pound of ground meat. We actually prefer a mix of pork and beef, which is sometimes sold in the US as meatloaf mix, but here I'm using ground beef because that's easier to find here in the UK. Then add 3/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, a dash of allspice, plenty of salt and pepper, and 1 egg along with the white rice. Mix this up with your hands is easiest, and then taste for seasoning. Now this is obviously raw, so what you want to do is take a little bit and microwave it until it's cooked through, then taste it. Mine needed more salt as usual, and I also wanted more allspice and thyme flavor, so I added some more of that. Now it's time to roll them up. This is actually really easy and doesn't even take that long once you get the hang of it. I like to trim the thickest part of the cabbage stem, so cut out a little triangle there, and that just makes it easier to roll up and easier to eat. Then you can add a big tablespoon of the meat mixture, fold in both sides like you're rolling up a burrito, and just roll it all the way up. Repeat this until you fill the entire tray. I underestimated the amount of meat mixture I had, so I went back and added more to some of the first ones I rolled up, or some of the ones that didn't have as much meat mixture, so you can always go back and re-roll them if you have leftover meat. You can also use the leftover meat and just make meatballs, or, you know, if you want to fill any other vegetables, this would be a good filling in peppers, tomatoes, anything like that. This is a good step to have someone else do as well. So if you have kids or, you know, someone in your family who wants to help, they could do this step. Now I wanted to serve these with some potatoes, so I washed those and cut them up into chunks, sprayed them with some oil, seasoned with salt and pepper, and threw those in the oven. Best to keep it super simple. I knew I was making a sauce to go with these too, so I just honestly kept it very simple. In the meantime, pour about 1/2 cup of beef stock over the leaves, so this will help flavor them and help cook them. You also want to cover them with foil. This traps the steam and helps cook the meat and the cabbage. I put those in the oven with the potatoes for 30 minutes, then remove the foil. I actually reserved some of the beef stock in a mug and then put them back in the oven uncovered for another 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, I made this parsley sauce. So you start with a roux, which is 28 grams of melted butter, then add 2 tablespoons of flour and cook that out for a minute or 2. Slowly add 400 milliliters of whole milk, letting the sauce thicken as you go. I also added the broth I had reserved. Season with salt, pepper, and nutmeg, and add the parsley. Taste for seasoning, and then once the cabbage rolls and potatoes are done, take those out of the oven and you're ready to serve up.
Here's the final product. Let's dish it up.
Now, one of the best parts about this recipe is that it can be adapted however you like. So we're using savoy cabbage and beef in this video, but you can use whatever cabbage you have. A regular white cabbage will do just fine. You can change up the meat, change up the spices. It's really up to you. Obviously, variations of cabbage rolls exist in many cultures across the world. Some are made with tomato sauce, which people love. Some are made with fermented cabbage leaves, so you can also explore these other recipes. This is just the Scandinavian version. Swedish cabbage rolls with a Danish parsley sauce and roasted potatoes, a perfect hearty meal.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you want to try making this recipe, you can find it in the description below. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you thought. And see you next video. Bye!